Welcome back to Courtroom Chronicles. Today's case might just be one of the most bizarre ones you've ever heard. Meet Trenton Robert Faber, a man charged with something as simple as failing to transfer a vehicle title. Yet, the situation quickly spirals into one of the strangest arraignments you'll see. The prosecutor kicks things off with a jaw-dropping statement. He told me he's too pretty for jail. Yep, you heard that right. The defendant actually said that in open court. But what unfolds next is more than just courtroom humor. It's a perfect look into how attitude and confusion can turn a simple misdemeanor into a complicated legal mess. Watch closely as Judge patiently tries to walk Mr. Faber through the process, explaining his rights, options, and what a misdemeanor plea even means. Yet, despite her calm approach, it becomes clear this defendant has no idea what he's gotten himself into. This is where things get messy. Conflicting statements, unclear intentions, and a defendant who seems torn between pleading guilty and just wanting to get it over with. But remember, in criminal court, wanting it over fast can often make things much, much worse. So what do you think? Is Mr. Faber just confused, or is he trying to talk his way out of consequences? Let's find out.
I did indicate that the city's request, if he wants to plead to a misdemeanor, would be 1 day in jail or 2 days work crew. He told me he's too pretty for jail. I'm not sure what to do with that information.
All right, how are you?
Do I come to the podium or stay back here?
Every person has come to the podium. You're going to do the same as everybody else. That's okay. So, sir, can you state your name and date of birth, first of all, for the record?
Trenton Robert Faber, 11/23/1981.
Okay, so Mr. Faber, you're making a first appearance arraignment on a charge of failure to transfer title within 45 days. Failure to transfer title within 45 days is what is called a simple misdemeanor in the state of Washington, subject to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Because this is a criminal charge, sir, you have several important rights today, including the right to remain silent, the right to a speedy and public trial, and the right to an attorney. Would you like to be screened today, sir, for a court-appointed attorney?
No, it's all right.
Okay. Would you like to enter a plea of not guilty and set up a date to speak to you about your case with the prosecutor?
If it's at all possible, I am trying to leave the state as soon as possible, and I've still got 2 more court cases up in Everett next week. May I just myself at the mercy of the court, pay a fine, and be done with it? Because I gave that van back. I had it for a week, and I don't own it. I came out here to camp one night and got pulled over.
Well, so it is a charge that would involve doing what's called a statement of defendant on plea of guilty that we would have to fill out. So it's not something that's an infraction unless the city were to change the charge to an infraction. So we can, I don't know, do we have the resources this afternoon to do a change of plea?
I could do it, I guess. And I'll defer to the court. I guess I have some concerns about capacity to understand the documents I'm giving him today in the short amount of time we would have to discuss it. I can't tell exactly what is going on, but if it's constitutional or if it's something else, I'm a little hesitant to discuss a plea statement right now with the defendant.
I am in every way constitutional. I mean, I know it's not the right way to say that, but I am very well aware of my surroundings, and I'm not driving. I don't have a van. I gotta take the bus all the way back to Vancouver, but I made my friend drive up here earlier this morning, and it's just been a long morning so far.
And if the court wants me to prepare paperwork, I obviously will. I just wanted to put that on the record.
Yeah, it looks like he comes to us from Montlake Terrace, Washington. It's the mailing address. It sounds like he doesn't have transportation. So certainly for a future court date, the only court appearance in our court that requires an in-person appearance right now is the arraignment. Meaning a future court date, including a date for case resolution, could be done over Zoom.
Okay.
If you've appeared for court on Zoom before. So it's not a scenario where if we don't resolve the case today, you're coming back down here multiple times. That's not really going to be necessary, at least. why don't we give it a try?
Right.
And if at some point you want to say, hey, this is not going to work, then I'm fine with setting it over.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
we'll
fine.
try to give it a shot today, sir.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Farber, you want to come on up?
So, Your Honor, in this case, I did begin the paperwork. I did sit down with the defendant. I think as this court probably knows, I typically can resolve cases with pro se defendants in an amicable way. I typically feel like they knowingly are entering into this resolution. And speaking with Mr. Favre, he keeps asking whether he can just pay a fine and be done with this. I did indicate that the city's request, if he wants to plead to a misdemeanor, would be 1 day in jail or 2 days work crew. He told me he's too pretty for jail. I'm not sure what to do with that information. He also told me he couldn't. Well, hold on. This was about how our conversation went. He told me he won't be staying in Battleground. Then he indicated to me he wanted to appear by Zoom. Then he indicated to me he wanted to provide additional documentation. I again asked him if he wanted to be screened for a court-appointed attorney, but then he said no, he wants to be done with this. I have given Your Honor the paperwork that I began drafting. Certainly, if this court wants him to enter, or if he decides to enter into a plea, the plea statement has been filled out. He has not signed any paperwork, but I have handed him the appendix sheet listing the elements the city would need to prove.
I think that a majority of that is true, but I think she is misconstruing a lot of what happened. She never told me it was a day in jail, and she kept asking me if I wanted to be scheduled or screened for a lawyer. I don't mind if there's a misdemeanor on my record. I don't want to come back here. I would like to have this handled today. I don't think I am being contradictory when I say that and follow it up with, but if I have to come back, I would prefer to go do it over Zoom. I have court cases in Seattle and Edmonds that I have to figure out the logistics of getting to that. So if it's a day in jail, I have absolutely no problem turning myself in, walking right out the door from here. But she didn't say a day in jail. She led me to believe it was going to be like a couple of months. And I did say that I was too pretty.
We're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're not doing it today. All right. So I'm going to be entering a not guilty plea for you, Mr. Favre. We're going to be assigning future court dates, both of which can be done over Zoom. The first of which would be pro se pretrial on the 25th of May. The second would be a readiness hearing on June 15th at 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you. I will make myself available.
Because we are not proceeding with the plea today, do you want to reconsider being screened for a public defender? Since you have to come back anyway?
Well, I'll figure it out.
Okay. All right, Mr. Favre, we'll get you some paperwork over by the door. Once you have your paperwork, you are free.
Here's where the real drama unfolds. Mr. Faber pushes back, saying the prosecutor misrepresented their conversation. He insists he was never told about jail time and that he's totally fine pleading guilty as long as it's handled today. But watch how the judge shuts it down almost instantly. This right here is what makes courtroom procedure so important. The judge senses confusion, maybe even signs the defendant doesn't fully grasp what's happening. And when that happens, it's a major red flag for due process. Judges can't accept a guilty plea unless they're absolutely sure it's made knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently. So instead of rushing, the court wisely enters a not guilty plea on his behalf, schedules future hearings, and ensures everything can be done over Zoom. A modern twist on justice for someone without transportation. What's fascinating is how the system balances compassion with caution. The judge doesn't ridicule him for his "too pretty for jail" remark. She simply ensures fairness and legal clarity. It's a masterclass in judicial professionalism. What's your take? Was the judge too patient? or just doing her job by the book? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And that wraps up today's wild courtroom moment. From vanity quotes to legal confusion, this one had it all. If you found this breakdown as entertaining and eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Courtroom Chronicles for more shocking real-life justice stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep watching how justice unfolds in America's courtrooms.